Antonio's very proud of himself right now.
You have 10-5, I'm like, oh no, close.
I had the best hand.
Okay, good luck everybody. Thank you.
12,000 down the tubes.
That was nice. Raise.
Mattisau raises with his first hand of the night.
Play for 2,100.
If I can find it, there we go.
Phil Locke has picked up a pair of jacks here. He's just going to call. And Antonio is going to raise to 10,300 with a 10-3. And notice he did that again. He's betting 10,300 with a 10-3.
I actually looked at your cards by any chance?
Very interesting. Phil Locke just calling with jacks. Antonio raising with 10-3. See if Phil Locke's going to raise here.
And a call.
Oh, Locke calls.
Oy vey.
Oy vey, that's an expression from the Kabbalah. Means maybe my jacks are in trouble.
Is this one of your 10-5 dealies or pocket aces?
Oh,
Wow! He almost called Antonio's hand, 10-5.
well, Locke's jack still leading the flop.
Phil Locke checks his jacks. And Antonio was definitely going to fire out if a flop like this came up. But Phil Locke has almost guessed his hand.
Yeah.
He's got 10-3. Phil Locke guessed 10-5. Mr. Locke looks like, all right, Antonio, bring it on. I'm ready.
And it looks like he will. And Antonio comes out firing $17,000 into the pot.
Now, I really do not know what's going on in Phil Locke's mind.
I think
And Jennifer, I don't think Jennifer knows either.
I think she's saying fold with those eyes of hers.
I don't think so. I don't think he's thinking about folding. He's thinking about, should I raise here? I got my jacks. I know that flop probably didn't help Antonio. He might just call because he might fear Antonio has an overpair. Antonio's had aces a lot.
Well, you can show me the bluff.
He folded. You were right, AJ.
Welcome to our high-stakes cash game.
I saw a 10 of clubs. I think.
So Antonio steals a $24,000 pot from his close friend, the Unabomber.
You're starting to realize how these players are going to play more than I am.
I saw it in her eyes.
Antonio's very proud of himself right now.
You have 10-5, I'm like, oh no, close.
I had the best hand.
Okay, good luck everybody. Thank you.
12,000 down the tubes.
That was nice.
Mattisau calls with Queen-8 offsuit.
8,500.
And Antonio immediately is going to raise to 8,500 with 6-7.
right.
He was not threatened by Fred Chaminar's $2,000 raise. He puts Fred Chaminar on exactly what he has. Garbage. And Mike Mattisau also. As I said, Antonio's radar is right on in this game.
Yeah.
He's seeing everything correctly.
Yeah, here he goes. Goodbye, Freddie.
But Mattisau realizes that maybe Antonio's making a play here, and he's going to call 6,500 more with the Queen-8 offsuit. Interesting.
Pretty money here, sir.
There goes the 100,000 to Daniel Negreanu. Loan.
Yeah, yeah.
No papers.
I'll see you at the crap table.
No attorneys.
Jack, Jack 3, 2 hearts.
Mattisau checks. Antonio checks.
80, that's 9.
Let's go to the turn.
Jack of diamonds.
A third
Another
jack.
jack.
Right.
You got it. Thank you, sir.
Now let's see who's going to make a play here. One of these players definitely got to do something here. And it's going to be Mike the Mouth.
$6,000 from the mouth.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I think I got everything.
Wow, Antonio's just going to call. I could see Antonio raising here, but he's just going to call. This is poker at its
Yeah.
best. This is really poker
Take all
here.
the money, kids.
Bye, Phil. Nice playing
I
with you.
can't wait to see what's going to happen here. Mike checks.
Checks.
Now, Antonio called Mike's bet on the turn just so he could bet here. And here he goes.
There he goes.
As I said, this is really poker.
$21,000 from Antonio Esfandiari.
If Mike would have bet on the river, he would have won. Antonio bet, he won. Antonio is in the zone. Shows his hand and rubs it in a little bit.
The greatest reader of you knew. I'm sorry. What was that?
Do you think I wouldn't have called him with ace high?
What did you have? Did you have 7 high beat?
Barely. I had 10 high.
Should have raised him. He would have folded.
I thought about it.
You just played bad.
I did.
Good play, countryman.
You got outplayed.
I did.
Antonio, you outplayed him that hand. That's what happened.
He was the best. How can the best in the world?
You outplayed him there.
Can't believe I showed it. God, I'm such an idiot.
And Antonio
Makes the call.
is going to call with his pair of fives. Maybe it can be luckier for him than they were for Sean.
Zyman calls.
These 2 cards here. All right, I don't see how I can fold.
And Anon's going to call also. We got 4 players going to see the flop here. This is the first hand Antonio's been involved in.
And
for
3
a while.
fives to the magician.
And he flops 3 fives.
Check.
Not only has he flopped 3 fives, but Ellie's got ace jack. Jack's with the ace kicker.
And he leads out for 8,500.
Magician's going to raise with his set of fives.
$21,000.
21,000. Fives.
And both Zyban and Felipe are going to go out. And it's going to be up to Ellie Alezra. Now, this is where television comes into play. Because a lot of times in a tournament, people can get away from hands like this. It's not easy to get away from ace-jack here. But there's not too many draws. There's like 10-queen, 8-10. No flush draw. So if Antonio has queens, kings, or aces, or a set, Ellie knows what kind of bad shape he's in here. But nobody wants to throw a hand like ace-jack away on television.
So he calls.
Also a possibility that Antonio could have queen-jack or king-jack.
Turns an ace of clubs.
I would ask him.
Ellie's got aces up.
Terrible card for Ellie. There's no way he can get away from the hand now. Ellie's got top 2 pair. He went from the cooler into the freezer. We see the percentages now. He's 9% to win this hand. And I don't see any way where all the money is not going in right now. One of the things Ellie was worried about has been eliminated. He was worried about queens, kings, or aces. Very unlikely that Antonio has 2 aces now.
Yeah, I'll put you all in. I'm all in.
So
All in.
Ellie's going to go all in. He's not going to like it when Antonio turns over the 3 fives. Antonio's a little apprehensive because
You can't have pocket aces, can
Ellie's been holding over him.
you? You have ace jack, right?
At least he's telling Ellie where he's
You
at.
got aces, you got it.
No way in a million years Antonio is laying this hand down. He's calling.
I don't have 3 nines.
3 fives. I got
I
these
have 3 fives.
He says, I don't have 3 nines. 3 nines, 3 fives makes no difference.
Exactly.
Ellie's going to need an ace or a jack on the river. Otherwise, Antonio's going to double through Ellie.
Once or twice.
Antonio's also a one-time man. He's never run it twice.
Just one time.
But he is nervous.
Oh, yeah. Now, 6 of clubs.
Nothing to be nervous about this time.
And Antonio's bad luck might be over. Just rakes in a massive pot of $211,000.
I mean, so far I get 2 sets turned against me.
20,
Hand
30,
came
40,
perfectly for Antonio.
50,
Ellie flopped top pair with top
70.
kicker. Then he made top 2 pair. Nothing Ellie could do.
79, 79, 8.
Because people aren't so scared to lose all that money in one hand.
Playing like Jamie, but with Jamie out of the game, it's not as
Down a
good.
hand yesterday. I was really surprised.
Antonio raises the
I think so.
6,000 with his king jack.
Maybe because of what Barry said.
Yeah.
Say, hey, take that, Barry. I'm going to raise with king jack offsuit here. Don't say we're playing tight because there's a $500,000 buy-in. Patrick changes his mind. Mr. Gee's just going to call with his ace jack.
Phil never said.
We basically
10
said
it
it was
offsuit for Doyle Brunson.
but it was probably ace king of spades. Phil was playing pretty ABC before the flop.
Yeah.
And Doyle is calling. His tide is sitting
But he
there.
was crowing though when it was over.
5 players. 4 players.
4 to the flop.
That's about his new wine.
Look at those spades.
He's got a new wine.
3 spades. Doyle actually has the best hand with a pair of 10s, but Antonio has the king-high flush draw, and Guy has the ace-high flush draw.
I always look for kids wearing
Looks like everybody's going to check.
their hats and stuff. I haven't seen. I saw one kid.
There's a jack of spades.
There it is. There's the flush.
All right.
Ace-high flush checks. King-high flush checks.
There's another spade.
And another spade.
See, he's got the energy drink now. The pro player.
Not going to be any more checking
You know, the truth is,
from the ace-high flush.
That's 12,000.
there's not the amount of money.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens when it gets to Antonio. If Antonio is going to put in a value raise here with the king of spades.
They won't pay a NBA star a couple million. Yeah, they'll give you some free watches and a little bit extra. But
Looks like he is.
Extras, then you have to show up for something.
yeah, it's
He puts in 16,000 more.
$1 million deal.
Sort of a minimal raise.
All right.
He's hoping Guy has the queen of spades.
Their name's not Tiger Woods.
Yeah, there's maybe a handful.
However, he sees what's going on right now.
45,000.
And Antonio throws away his hand. Doesn't even think about calling. Guy's kind enough
Here's the ace.
to show him the ace.
Nice hand.
Thank you, sir.
I got greedy.
I thought so.
He said, I said, I thought that was impossible. He goes, someone's going to try to outplay me. He says, I thought that was impossible. From Northern Europe.
The same hand I had last hand.
It doesn't matter whether you were kidding or not, but it was fun.
Everybody's on today.
Everybody's really
funny.
on.
Yeah, everybody is really on. Everybody is really on Phil Hellmuth, and most of it's in good fun. But I think there was a little too much conversation about the last hand while the hand was going on. After all, Phil did lose $55,000 in the hand.
Flop the wrong straight.
That's true.
Wow, big possibilities in this hand.
Go ahead.
Antonio has the ace-high flush draw. Hellmuth has the king-high flush draw. Both Juan and Gus have pairs and open-end straight draws.
38.
Antonio's just going to call 3,800 with his ace-high flush draw. If a spade were to come off on the turn, it's going to be a disaster for Phil Hellmuth. I can't see how he can avoid going
I
broke.
think it shows real awareness of the game. 4-3 of spades, gone.
Danger.
Is that a bar on him there? Yeah.
Wow.
see, now you're already in.
You're dead in 2 spots.
Actually, if Gus did have the 3-4 of spades, he would be dead in 2 spots. Little too much commentary while the hand is going on. Kind of smallish bet from Antonio. I got to feel Phil Hellmuth is going to raise here. One good thing, at least the table talk has stopped. Phil's got to feel he has the best hand. He's going to slow play it. Didn't want to see Juan go out there. Ten of hearts, nothing changes on the river. Disaster awaits Phil Hellmuth. See how much Antonio bets.
32.
Well, I know one thing, it's an easy call. Let me just think for a second, though.
Any takers? I'll lay 10-1. He doesn't raise.
If you knew his hand, Gus, you wouldn't lay 10-1. But you're right. He just calls. I think most players with Phil's hand would have made a little value raise, and they would have lost more money. Phil Hellmuth happened to lose the minimum on that hand.
I didn't want to play it if it was out of there. Sorry.
Antonio raises under the gun with 8-7 suited.
I thought Barry was smarter than that.
Well, I guess now we know.
It just looks like the,
That's right.
the beard.
That's
The
right.
philosopher's beard.
You guys have all found me out. Total idiot.
All right.
All right.
And he gets 4 callers.
Good luck to me.
It's a loose call for,
luck, sir.
for the TV.
That's okay. I got faith in you. It's a good start.
Wow, a lot of potential on this flop. Antonio has a straight flush draw, and a 9 would make him a straight also. Viffer decides to jump barefoot into a cactus field. Now Barry Greenstein has to raise here. He knows one of these boys has a draw. He does make it 30,000. Now Antonio. He must be wondering if somebody has a bigger heart draw. Barry could have an ace-10 of hearts. Really thinking this over. And a big raise by Antonio, 106,000. And this gets rid of the barefoot boy. Well, Barry's not calling here, and it's hard to imagine him folding with only 2 hands that can beat him. So that only leaves one option.
All in.
And that's the option.
Once or twice.
Antonio calls. We have the biggest pot of the season, just shy of $600,000. Antonio just asked Barry if he wanted to run it twice, but Barry always runs it just once. And a heart hits the turn, which means Barry will have to pair the board, or it's a magical moment for Antonio.
I was going to say that's me.
No pair. Abracadabra. 600,000 goes to Antonio.
Nice flop.
So Barry Greenstein, who's been making all the right moves, gets devastated by the Queen of Hearts.
There's 200.
What is the magician going to do with Big Slick?
He raised 20,000.
Raises it to 20,000.
Call.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. Damn it.
Ruffin calls out a turn.
That's right.
Action down to Vanessa.
I apologize.
Oh, all good.
And she calls.
Okay.
Antonio misses the flop. No ace or king for him. But he decides to represent a big pair with a bet of 45,400. Works with Ruffin instantly. Vanessa might be a little harder to get through.
45,400.
She's looking at Antonio, trying to get a read. Couldn't get one. Antonio's bet into two players, very convincing.
Not the three of diamonds. Come on, that's such a needle.
Come on, Pete, enough of that.
I thought it was going in. Thought it was going in.
Man, if you'd had the
Thought
10
so,
deuce
too.
that time.
What?
Just man, if you'd had the old 10 deuce that time, right?
Oh, the price is right.
Run it.
And Johnny Chan, ace jack suited. Chan quickly checks the best hand. Antonio bets his aces.
4,200.
Chan smooth calls. And Viffer does his swipe fold. Johnny's still got the best hand and checks again. And Antonio goes along with it this time. Uh-oh. Johnny bets 20,000.
Oh, Johnny. Here's Johnny.
Well, Antonio can only call. I don't know what's taking him so long. He can't be thinking of raising. Wait a second. What a fold.
20,000.
It's not here's Johnny, it's here's seat 6.
There you go.